What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. As you can see by the title, this is my last video of March. I will be back in April, maybe not the start of April, but at some point in April, I will want to come back. But I will cover that later on in the video. Right now, I'm going to talk about today's price action, Monday the 3rd, first day of March. And it was a no trading day. I did not take anything. There was a setup. I'll go over my bias. I'll go over why I didn't take it, but what it was. So, start off on the weekly. We have just had this weekly change in the state. And on the day we were in this daily gap. So obviously I was bearish because if I formed if I'm forming a bullish bias off of this, where price was at open, if I'm bullish here, I'm forming a bias off of prediction. I'm predicting this daily gap gets run, so I'm not bullish, I'm bearish because I cannot be bullish in a daily bearish gap. It would be predicting, it would be forming a bias. I'm predicting it would be doing what I did last week, making the same mistakes again. Don't want to do that. So I was bearish, right? I was very much bearish. And zooming in, there was, let's go to open on the 15-minute. Let's zoom out to the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, there was this 1 hour bullish gap with sell side within it. And we were generating lows all through Asia and London, with Asia low being right here and London low being right here. So we're generating lows, we're in a daily gap. We're also in OTE of this previous price leg. So I'm bearish, and there is an SMT at those highs right there. So SMT highs in a daily gap, in OTE of the range, generated lows below, in an area we expect price to draw towards, this 1 hour gap and this 4 hour gap right here. You know, that is the drawn liquidity really for what I want to see happen. So going into open, I need to see manipulation, I need to see displacement, I need to see some form of high taken to fulfill the bearish bias, to fulfill the sell side of the curve, which is what I was looking at. Market opens and sell side gets taken, internal sell side of this range is taken, and then we move up to take buy side of this range as well and put in the SMT right here. And this SMT is still holding. Very clear accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. But internal sell side was taken. And then from that manipulation leg, we get a 1 minute inverse, pull back to it. I hesitated on this trade for two or three reasons. Technically, I hesitated from a technical standpoint because I didn't know where to target. Because this is the internal low. It's not clean, it's not clear. There's not a clean internal model here. Purely because this internal sell side was taken and this low so close. There is London low. Again, does this low have relation to this entry model? A little bit. If this was a 5-minute entry, yes, it would do, but it was not a 5-minute entry because this is not. It's a 1 minute entry. If this was a 5-minute inverse, yes, I could target this low, London low, but because this entry up here has relation to this low, not down here, so I didn't want to take it. I could have targeted the equilibrium of the range. Again, that would make sense. It's again still not the best R trade. And I believe there was a 1 hour gap here as well. Yeah, it's still not nice. There's nothing to target. These 1 hour lows here, but again, there's no relation. It's just generated sell side. So I didn't know where to target. The only target that makes sense is equilibrium or OT of this range, or the London low. So from a technical standpoint, I didn't want to take this trade because I didn't know where to target. But anyway, price then obviously we sold off. displaced through the low on the bigger time frame, made a 5-minute gap, tapped the 5-minute gap. I was personally waiting for the breaker in the inverse, but we literally just came up straight away and in the macro, or before the macro even opened, into this 1-minute gap and then sold off more. I was looking for the breaker as well and into more manipulation, a stop rate. Never happened. Price just continued to London low, Asia low, and that sell side level, all before 10 a.m. Another reason I hesitated on the trade, we had 9:45 news. The trade entry was at 9:35. It didn't make sense for me to take this. 9:45 news didn't do anything. 10 a.m. news did. It was pretty drastic, and then we chopped because the objective had already been taken. So that was the only trade. I didn't take it because I hesitated because of 9:45 news, because I didn't know where to target, because this has no relation to this. When it did in hindsight, but at the time I couldn't really see that. There was the 1-minute change in the state on this candle as well. Never pulled back to that, or the 5-minute, or the 15-minute, or the 3-minute change in the state. So several technical factors as to why I didn't want to take this trade, but mainly, and the point of this video, is I hesitated because I'm still struggling with how I am perceived on social media, and it's having an effect on my trading. I was talking to a close friend of mine, and he was asking the right questions. I was like, kind of cool, I need some help. And he asked the right questions, made me think about myself. And I hesitated on this trade because I was scared to lose. I was scared to be wrong because my current mentality when I trade is when I lose, I think, oh, I've got to talk about it. When I win, I'm thinking, oh, I get to brag about it. I get to post about it. When I lose, I'm like, oh, I got to talk about it. So the YouTube's been growing like crazy, and I appreciate all of you. But I've got to be selfish here. I've got to be selfish. I've got to go ghost. I've got to step back from the Discord server, step back from the YouTube, step back from the Twitter, everything, and just really hone in psychologically with trading. It's not that I'm scared to lose the money or scared to lose a funded account. Honestly, it's not about that. It's purely about perception, worrying about how I'm perceived and trying to prove to the world that I'm some sort of genius. When in reality, I need to just focus on the trading because this doesn't matter. The YouTube doesn't matter. And the only way for me to realize that and really take any action from it is to step back. So this will be my one and only review in March. I will come back in April. I've logged out of my X account. I've logged out of my YouTube on my phone. I've turned the notifications off. I've muted my Discord server. I'm going to put a post up in there saying I'm not going to be active in there. Maybe on weekends, but I really won't be active at all. I want to go full on, because not once in my trading career have I ever took a trade and journaled it and then it's stayed with me. I've always spoke to my friends, spoke to you guys about it. I've never ever took a winning trade or took a winning trade and then journaled it and then no one else has knew about it. It's never been between me and the charts. It's always been between me, the charts, and someone else, some other third party. So I'm stepping back. I'm actively making a decision to better myself, better my trading by stepping back. And I will return in April at some point, maybe May. But there will certainly be something in April. So heads up on X or in the server. Links in the description. At some point in April, there will be words said. But this is me signing off for the month. Monk Mode March begins now. Peace out.